today we are talking about 5 habits you need to have to be a successful entrepreneur in 2025, okay? What's up out there to all of my fellow gold diggers? This is your girl Rita, also known as the self-proclaimed gold digger. Welcome to my channel where I discuss my life as a wife, mom, entrepreneur, and business owner, all while trying to crush and achieve my goals. If this is your first time to my channel, welcome. I am so glad to have you. But if you are a fellow gold digger, welcome back. Y'all know I love and I appreciate each and every one of you. And today we are talking about 5 habits you need to have to be a successful entrepreneur in 2025, okay? I know there's a lot more that I could cover, but we're just going to stick with 5 on today, and I am going to be sticking to my notes so that I can stay on task, okay? So let's go ahead and jump into it. But hold on, before we do that though, if you are enjoying the content, if you are liking what you see, please be sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, as well as share it with a friend, okay? All right, let's go ahead and get into it. These 5 habits that I have for a successful entrepreneur in 2025. And these are not in any particular order. But the first one I have is you should be setting clear and strategic goals for the year. You should have a clear vision, a clear focus for 2025, what you want your life to look like, what you want your business to look like, the goals that you want to achieve for the first quarter of the year, second quarter of the year, and so on and so on. So if you have not already set out a vision, if you have not already set out goals for 2025 for your business as an entrepreneur, then you need to go ahead and do so. If you don't know what you're aiming for, then you will wander aimlessly and not necessarily hit or achieve your goal because you have no target that you're shooting for, or nothing that you're aiming for, or nothing that you're reaching for. Also, you have no guidelines for where you need to go in this new year. So I don't want you aimlessly trying to be successful this year. I want you to be successful, and part of that is by setting goals, having a vision for how you want your 2025 to go in your business. And I know that goes without saying, like, we should have some goals for our business, but sometimes what will happen as entrepreneurs, we will get bogged down in the day-to-day activities that come with running a business, running our side hustle. You know, oftentimes we're just overwhelmed by different things that we are just trying to survive and make it through. But take some time out. Take out an hour or two to kind of carve out some time for you to really write the vision for yourself. Write the vision, like the Bible says, and make it plain so that you can see what direction you are striving for. Now, when it comes to setting your goals, know that you should be creating SMART goals. I'm not going to go over that. I have another video that I recently did that went over the SMART goals, but just know that SMART goals are specific, measurable, attainable, realistic or relevant, and time sensitive, okay? So just remember to do that. Make SMART goals. And also, as you're setting these goals for yourself, make sure you're setting long-term goals as well as short-term goals. Sometimes we'll just set this long-term goal, like by the end of the year, I want to make X amount of money. Okay, that's a long-term goal because that's a year away. But you also want to set out monthly goals, quarterly goals. Those are going to be your more short-term goals. Also, with that being said, oftentimes we'll look at 2025 and we're only setting that 1-year goal. But also start asking yourself, what do I want my business to look like 3 years from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now? Because the things that you do today are what set you up for the things that you'll achieve in the future, whether it's 1 year from now, 3 years from now, 5 years from now, or however long from now. So start looking at some of those longer term goals that go beyond a year to see what do I want my business to look like then, okay? So that was number one. Set clear and strategic goals for your business, and make sure also that once you set those goals, you're also breaking them down into smaller steps that you are able to achieve, okay? Number two, the second habit that you should have to be a successful entrepreneur in 2025 is that you need to prioritize time management. I say this saying, I don't have time to waste time. And that is so true. Our time is way too valuable. Time is one of those resources that you don't get back. I always say, you can waste my money, don't waste my time, because I can always make more money, but I cannot get back more time. So your time is your most valuable asset. It's your most valuable resource. So you don't have time to waste time. So make sure you are using your time wisely. And what I mean by that is making sure you are delegating the stuff that you can delegate that doesn't necessarily involve you having to do it. Also, make sure that you are being productive with your time and that you are managing it by time blocking or getting organized, and not just, I won't say wasting it, but squandering your time because you're just not organized in some of the things that you do. So when it comes to being successful, oftentimes what you'll realize, especially if you're a new entrepreneur, how you spend your time is going to look a lot different than how your peers spend your time. Since I've become an entrepreneur, had my own business, and I've had my own business now for over 8 years now, I realize I can't do the same things that some of my peers do, or I don't have the time to do some of the same things that my peers do. Like, I rarely watch TV. You rarely see me doing that because I feel like that is a waste of time. Not that there's anything bad with watching TV, but there are other things that I would like to be using my time or spending my time on versus watching TV. And it doesn't always have to be stuff that is pertaining to the business. It could be stuff that's just helping me to be a better individual, to be a better leader, to be a better business owner, to help me to stay calm in situations, to help me just to be better all around. It's not like I necessarily have to be working on something specific in my business, but the things that I'm working on are either to make me better as a person, which will ultimately make my business better. So don't be surprised, especially for my new entrepreneurs, if the way you spend time looks a lot different than how your peers spend time. Now, that's not to say you're not going to have fun or you shouldn't make time to have fun, because self-care is very important, making sure you factor in those rest periods and those times for you to just enjoy and have fun and that kind of thing. But if you're not managing and being a good steward of your time, you will get overwhelmed and feel like, hey, I don't even have time to take a break. And there should always be a time for you to take a break, rest, relax, take care of yourself, enjoy the fruits of your labor as well. So prioritize time management to make sure you're using your time well. Delegate what you can delegate, and don't allow anyone to waste your time. And that includes you, okay? So that was number two. The second habit of a successful entrepreneur was to prioritize time management. Now, the third thing you will need as a successful entrepreneur in 2025 is you need to make sure that you are being a lifelong learner. You will never stop learning, okay? So this is also why I tell people to, take action today. Stop waiting for things to be perfect. Stop waiting till you feel like you're going to know everything. You will never stop learning. There's always going to be something new for you to learn. There's always going to be something new out there for you to learn. And you should always consider yourself as a student, like trying to learn and glean and gain more knowledge, even if it's something that you've done 1,000 times. It's like, what else can I learn from this? How else can I do it differently? How else can I do it more efficiently or more effectively So you can always be learning stuff. And in that same vein, you should always be learning about yourself as well as ways to make yourself better, help you to be able to deal with situations, life situations, business situations better. So working on self-development. But that comes from being a lifelong learner as well as from being self-aware and realizing there's always going to be something that you don't know. Always going to be something you don't know. So just know that there's always an opportunity to learn something new, okay? So that was number 3, to be a lifelong learner. Number 4, the fourth thing that you need, or fourth habit you should have in order to be a successful entrepreneur in 2025 is you have to stay adaptable as well as stay resilient, because there are always going to be things and situations that are changing. Change is inevitable. It's always going to happen, whether it's you have a new supplier for a particular product, whether a price increase, whether an employee is no longer available or is no longer can do this particular position. Whatever it is, something is going to change. And when it changes, you have to be able to adapt and adjust to that change and keep it going and keep it moving in your business so that your business can continue to be successful, okay? So don't get caught up on all the changes. I was a person where I could not stand change. Like, I'm pretty much a person like who's a person of habit, a creature of habit, as they say. So I really was opposed to a lot of things changing. But as a business owner, I had a rude awakening when I had to deal with such different changes in my business, more so pertaining to like employees, as well as like, dealing with different people's behavior, different people's learning styles. Things are always going to change. And because of that, you have to be willing to adapt and adjust, as well as make the necessary changes within yourself to keep going and keep being successful. So just be adaptable, be resilient. Also with that, you have to be flexible to different situations and not so inflexible, because when you're flexible, it allows you to be able to accept new opportunities as they come, as well as to face the different obstacles and challenges that may arise as well. But if you're rigid and not flexible and not able to bend when things try to break you, then you will have a hard time in business. So you must be flexible in order to bend with the challenges, bend with the obstacles, as well as to be able to reach out for the opportunities that might arise day to day in your business, okay? So that was number 4, stay adaptable and stay resilient in order to be a successful business owner in 2025. Now, the final thing I have, the 5th habit a successful entrepreneur should have in 2025 is that you should measure your progress and adjust accordingly. And there's a saying that says what gets measured gets done, and what gets rewarded gets repeated. So if you are measuring something, you are realizing when I do X, Y, Z, it results in this, okay? And so you've measured that and you see how much growth or how much money was generated, and then you will repeat doing that, okay? But if you are not measuring it, then you don't know, well, did X cause this, or did Y cause this, or did, Z cause this, or what happened for me to get the results that I got. So you have to measure it. You have to measure your progress to see what direction are we moving in. Also, it allows you to be able to make sure you are on track to be able to meet your goals. And as you're measuring it, going back to that being adjustable and being flexible, if there is something that you need to change, then you can adapt and make those necessary changes, because you realize, ooh, I measured this, we did it this way, it doesn't work. So let's change and do it a different way and see what the outcome is going to be with that. Also with that saying, it says what gets rewarded gets repeated. Oftentimes, if you see that you're making money because a lot of us consider our reward in business as us generating income, which is what is very important, because that's what we need to do in order to stay in business. So if you see that this is creating money or generating money for you, guess what? You should repeat that particular activity so that you can keep generating money. But if you are not measuring your progress, if you are not seeing or tracking what is going on, you will not be able to determine what is causing you to be successful, as well as being able to adjust to things that might be detrimental to your business. You might have realized, hey, we were paying X amount of money for this particular product, but we could have got it from this other supplier for a lower amount, and it would have increased our profit margins. But if you're not tracking that, if you're not measuring that, then you'll never know, and you end up losing money, and you're not adjusting accordingly so that you can have a higher profit. And that's just one example. So adjust when needed, but you need to see, you have to measure your progress to see what even needs to be adjusted. So if you're not checking for anything, it's hard to see what needs to be changed. All right, so those were the 5. I'm going to quickly review those 5 habits a successful entrepreneur needs to have in 2025. Number 1 was to set clear and strategic goals. Number 2 was to prioritize time management. 3 was to be a lifelong learner. 4 is you must be able to stay adaptable and resilient. And the 5th and final one that I have is that you should measure your progress and adjust accordingly, okay? So I hope this was helpful for you. If so, be sure to like the video, subscribe to my channel, and share it with someone who you think can benefit from it. But before you go, let me know in the comment section, what habit do you think you need to have in order to be a successful entrepreneur in 2025? Like, I only listed 5. I know there's many more habits out there that we need to possess as entrepreneurs. So let me know in the comments, what's the habit that you think you need to have in order to be a successful entrepreneur in 2025? All right. Thanks so much. Take care, guys.